Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 22 Driver Career with Williams, episode number 9 today for the Canadian Grand Prix of Season 1. If you missed the previous episode uploaded on Monday, I recommend go and check that out, and subscribe to the channel and you see plenty more F1 22 Driver Career Mode videos. But coming into this one then, looking at R&D, we've got 1,164 resource points, which is exactly one more than we actually need for the major front downforce upgrade. That's going to take a little bit of time to come in. It won't come out until next week's Monday's Austria video as well. But we have got a weight reduction upgrade on the engine that has come through, so that's nice to see there. And that's going to put us right back in it, almost level with the likes of Aston Martin and AlphaTauri, but on paper still the slowest team in Formula 1. Can we get points though at Canada? That's yet to another story that we'll have to look at later in the video. But first of all, to practice, and Lewis Hamilton decided to have a little crash at the Wall of Champions. So yes, I don't, again, just like qualifying, practice don't have the full replay, so that's all I've got from that little bit as I was starting my practice run there. But to qualifying then, and well...
Okay, some information. We've lost oil pressure. Looks like a leak somewhere in the system. We're on standby for the time being until we can patch it up, I'm afraid.
Well, that's really annoying. We're down in P17, so, you know, Canada... Where's the traction again is a big issue, especially in this horrific car that is the Williams. It is a potting shed on wheels compared to some of the other cars, well, that I've driven. But anyway, we're down in P17. We released out a couple of cars. Hopefully we don't qualify last as well. I have dropped the AI for this episode as well as I did last episode, so they're lower than usual. They're definitely a lot lower than I would compared to F1 2021, but that's everything's lower than F1 2021, mostly due to the traction issues. We're 1.5 tenths up on Gasly through sector 2, as we're trying to 4.5 tenths up on our previous best time. As somebody's improved, Tsunoda I think that was actually improved in the AlphaTauri. We've got the two Aston Martins behind us. Make that P19 now as Stroll improves. 6 tenths up on our previous best time as Sainz sets the fastest lap. And where is that going to be? P19. We might as well not bothered, because Vettel I don't think set anything representative there. So yeah, Leclerc on pole, Sainz P2, and we're P19. Only 4 tenths off Albon, but yeah, that's not great. You know, we wanted to be there, and you know, Albon's poor focus. Anybody could out qualify Albon. So see what we can do. Time for the race.
It's time once again then to go racing here in Montreal, the second largest French-speaking city in the world and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. With top speeds around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula 1 calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid we have Perez, Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas and Magnussen, Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso and George Russell, Leclerc, Zhou, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Gasly, Albon, Yuki Tsunoda and Lance Stroll. Phoenix and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. A warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who is beside me in the commentary box today. Can we begin by having a chat about Charles Leclerc? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to power unit component changes. It's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
So we start P19, Leclerc having issues with reliability, typical Ferrari there. Race strategies are one stop, but it's actually going to be soft to mediums, not mediums to softs, because that is the slower strategy. As well. It's going to get sunnier throughout the race. Whether or not that will affect the tyres or not, I don't know, but one thing it won't affect is the AIOP traction, so we need to get a good start here. Fibre lights are out then, and away we go. It's actually an okay start, but there goes Stroll back as they try and accelerate. They're going to dive down the inside turn 1, almost taken to the little curbing down the inside to try and get the position around the outside of Ricciardo. Ricciardo decides not to give me any route, squeeze out one of the Alfa Romeos. They're going to have to go down the inside of Ricciardo there, take the position, take avoiding action of Zhou and Leclerc, both gone wide there as well because of Russell. I'm going to get Leclerc as well, try and get in front of him as well. So it's actually been a good start, up 8 positions. You know, if we had a better qualifying, then it could be even further up the grid, but alas, the AI, again, 1, traction, and 2, they're not consistent from qualifying. In actual fact, Zhou is going to have a go at Leclerc here, and they're going to continue going side by side, pretty much down the towards the final corner here. Zhou tries the outside, but then Leclerc will get the better exit out the final corner and will accelerate past Zhou back up to P12. So watching Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton 3rd and 4th. Now Verstappen has lost the front row that he had because he started on medium compound tyres, whereas the likes of Perez and Sainz started on softs and are starting to run away from them. As Leclerc now, we tried to make it hard for him, but just look how much speed he has in a straight line. Yes, I know it's a Ferrari versus a Williams, effectively the fastest versus the slowest car, but even then, still, it shouldn't be that much as well. As we're watching this is the battle ahead. We've got 2 Haas versus 2 Alpines there as well. So and the Alpines are now in a Haas sandwich as well. Schumacher and Magnussen. As we've got Zhou Guanyu having a go, but he goes down the inside. But we're coming in anyway at the end of the lap. As well, optimal turning 2.4, which isn't bad. Gets us out ahead of Ricciardo. We seem to be battling Ricciardo a lot, which I wouldn't mind, but this is McLaren style Ricciardo, not Red Bull Prime Ricciardo that we're battling, so that's annoying. Though we are ahead of Norris. There comes Zhou out the pits, and he gets a bit scared on the exit there and sees the position up to us, and we're up to P14 with a couple of people yet to stop, as Sebastian Vettel is out of the race with an engine failure, and I was hoping there'd be a safety car, but alas, none. As well, Zhou has a go. There's a bit of tyre banging there between himself and Zhou. I haven't really raced the Chinese driver at all in any of the career modes he's featured in, being an F2 graduate in both previous 2 driver career modes that we've done. Back up to P12 as people have made their pit stops now, and Zhou is now going to come under pressure from Lando Norris, and there's a slight lock up for Zhou. There's a little bit of contact, but Norris is going to get past Zhou now, but Zhou is going to have the better well, he's going to be a lot closer to Norris than Norris is to me. Zhou tries it down the inside, but he's locked up, gone straight on, and he's hopped the sausage curb, and he's lost out to Ricciardo, and I think that's Gasly as well. As we're watching Charles Leclerc far up the road, he's up to P5 after his pit stop, even if he is on hard compound tyres. as well. And Hamilton has jumped Verstappen as well. So, you know, Verstappen isn't going that well in this race. Still sides leading from Perez, as well as Norris now comes through with DRS. Well, there's a bit of contact there, and I thought there was a bit of contact there. You know, I tried to squeeze him as much as possible, but I'm trying to be fair, but there was a little bit of contact and, you know, simulation damage. That is, excuse me, Norris in the pits is watching Zhou and Gasly. Zhou having another go at Gasly, but loses out and goes straight on. And now there is Albon, just to show how slow we have been going as well. He tries to go for Ricciardo. He should have just tried and consolidated the move, really. Bit of an idiotic move by Zhou's AI there as well. But we now got Ricciardo all over the back of us in the McLaren. We're trying to defend the inside, but, you know, the traction they're getting out that hairpin is just absolutely ridiculous. So I squeezed him at the final corner. Gasly is going to get past again. He comes for us. This time he's going to the inside, but we're going to cut him off, basically, make sure we retain P12. A hard-fought P12, but that was such a painful race. You know, I just fought so hard just to keep P12, which is not where we want to be battling for. You know, Canada's supposed to be a good track for me, but yet I'm losing a heap amount of time to the cars in front, and even the cars behind are setting a lot faster times than me. Everyone pretty much below us, apart from Gasly managing to set and Tsunoda managing to set in the fastest time, and Norris the 13.1 as he made his second pit stop. You know, a couple more laps and probably Norris would have caught up to me there. So that was painful, I must admit. Hopefully they do fix this traction issue, and then we can actually start to race the AI in a straight line at some of these tracks as well. But it doesn't help us in the drivers or constructors, because we remain P13 and P9 respectively. Alfa Romeo have now moved ahead of Haas with their upgrades as well. Ferrari still way out in front, with Sainz winning the Grand Prix. Leclerc 6th, not 5th, sorry, as previously stated. But, you know, he's got a healthy advantage at the front for him to continue in a fresh engine to take him through to the second half of the season. So that's where I'm going to leave it today. If you have enjoyed the painful race, I'll leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F122 Drive Crew videos. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.